y'all? It's your girl, Kellz. We locked in. It's True Thicker Than the podcast, man. And I'm super excited. Okay, so y'all already know when I have somebody in the studio, I tend to talk too much before these cameras even rolling. But I am so intrigued by this brother, his wife, the energy. We walked in the room. I'm like, we know each other.
Yes.
I feel like I know you, but more importantly, I know the world knows you. Man, and I know y'all gonna know. I mean, y'all gonna be so happy to get to know this brother. International Nova. When international is in your name, stop playing with me, okay? We already here. Representing the big Bronx. BX was in the building. New York by way of ATL. I'm talking about artists, writer, agency owner.
Right.
Just, I mean, it's just so many levels, layers. It's so much going on that I am super excited. We got to jump right in it. Y'all make some noise for my boy, soon to be your boy, the one and only International Nova. What's happening?
Blessings. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for pulling up. When I seen that orange, I said, oh, that brother's smart. We color coordinated. We ain't playing that either, did we?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But, you know, I did text you, like, let's wear the same outfit, same colors and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You're a hater, dog. Okay, so you lit. Obviously, you're lit.
I try to be, yeah.
No, I'm telling you, lit. As soon as I walked in, our energies was like kinetic.
Amen,
so
amen,
I'm
amen.
always on 10, right?
Yeah,
so when I meet somebody who energy like mine, everybody be like, oh, you like that? I like that. You've always been this way?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm really big on energy, first of all. First and foremost, right? When I walk into a room, if the energy ain't right, I walk right out. You know what I mean?
Talk to me about that.
I've always been like that. You know what I mean? Whether it was business, whether it was just hanging out, whatever it may be, if the energy ain't right, I'm stepping out the room.
I like that.
And that's just how I've always been. You know what I mean? But now I came in here, the energy was dope. You were amazing. Your husband's amazing. The whole team is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I walked in the door, I'm like, I recognize you. You. So, you know, sometimes things happen when they're supposed to. Yeah. And I'm a big believer about God's timing. Yeah. So, you know, this is God's time.
God's time. You say God's time. I say divine order. It's all a mix of everything being on your path and on your journey.
Amen.
And it's going to line up. That's a vibe. So, yeah, we're going to get right to it, dude.
Let's get it.
You said your wife.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this newest thing. That boy newly married. Shout out to the newlyweds.
Yes.
It's been 2 months.
Yeah.
It's been 2 months. You've been married.
Yeah.
Give it to me. How you feeling?
I feel great.
You smiling ear to ear.
I feel great. I mean, I think, you know, for me, I got to a point in my life where before I met her, I didn't think I was going to get married. And do the marriage thing. You know what I mean? You know, being in this industry, working, grinding, a lot of times you don't have time for those things.
You really don't.
And I met this beautiful young lady.
She is beautiful, by the way.
At an event. Shout out to Justin Case, my brother, who introduced us. And we became really good friends. And funny, when we first met, we had on the same colors, purple and gold. You know what I mean?
But y'all both had on purple and gold?
We both had on purple and gold.
What's the odds of people having on purple and gold?
I don't even wear purple. I don't even know I had a purple
Unless you're the
shirt
cubes. Unless you're the bruh.
You know what I mean? But, you know, we met and we became really good friends.
Did y'all take pictures that night?
Yes.
As you should.
Funny as it is, our first picture became our wedding picture.
Are y'all kidding me?
Yeah.
I told him off air, y'all. I said if I knew him 3 months ago, I would have been at that wedding crying. I feel like that's the energy it is.
And you know what's crazy? Everybody at the wedding was crying.
Because you know what? It's love in the room.
Yeah.
And when love is in the room, you know what? People can't deny that. You've been to a wedding, you like, oh my God, I can't believe he about to marry this bitch. He only with her for this. No, they felt the energy.
It was insane, man. At one point, I turned around because I kept hearing people sniffling behind me. And when I turned around, everybody was crying.
And they was behind you. That was your groomsmen crying too. Now,
my groomsmen were crying as well, but they were to the side of me. But I'm talking about just the audience, the people there. It was insane. Like from the groomsmen to the bridesmaids to the people behind us, everybody was crying. It was crazy.
You're International Nova.
Yeah.
How do we get there? Because is your name what is your full name if you don't mind me asking?
So my real name is Nova. That's my last name.
Just Nova. Okay, your last name is Nova.
My first name is Giovanni, right?
Hey, Giovanni!
You know what I'm saying?
Big Giovanni!
Big G. But, you know, at the time, so when I first started doing this, first of all, I grew up in the South Bronx. Right?
Here we go, South Bronx.
I'm from the BX.
Okay.
BX to the death of me, right? I always tell the story, but when I first got introduced to hip-hop, so, you know, back in the days, I'm a kid in the Bronx, we had bootlegs. We have bootleggers.
Bootleggers. What you talking about? Are you talking about like the CDs, the tapes, all that?
You know what I mean? And I remember I was about 7 years old, and I'm just running around my apartment building, and we had a bootlegger who lived in our building.
Yeah.
He's an African dude, and we, being kids, broke into his little closet. You know what I mean? And
wait, hold on. Being kids broke into his closet.
Yeah.
Shout out to the South Bronx.
Listen,
we didn't do that in Milwaukee. We just niggas that break into closets. But in the Bronx,
Listen,
okay.
I grew up in the projects in the South Bronx.
I love it. I'm here for it.
And kids being kids, we found a closet, broke into the closet.
Went crazy.
And we just going through the boxes, and dude had boxes of just mixtapes and bootlegs and this and that. And the first thing I grabbed was two things. I grabbed the Chronic album, you know what I mean, and Tupac's Me Against the World. And
did you know what you was grabbing? Was you intentional with those?
Not at all.
Come on, man.
I was 6, 7 years old.
It chose you.
Right? But
it chose you.
It
just
chose
happened.
Me. And I played Me Against the World, and from then on, I was hooked onto hip hop. I was hooked onto Tupac, became a huge Tupac fan.
Yeah, I'm a Tupac fan.
And that's what kind of started my love for the music thing. And just being around the Bronx, I grew up around different Terror Squad members, and being around those
Terror
guys.
Squad, that's lit.
And yeah, and you know, just kind of.
Did they know while you were around them? Did they know that this is what you were doing, or were you just like taking it in?
No, because at the time it was just we people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it wasn't even me trying to be a rapper or trying to do the music thing. I was just being in the room at the time. You know what I mean?
How important is it to just be in the room, though?
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's not only being in the room; it's soaking up that knowledge.
That's it.
Right? Because if you allow your ego to stop you from soaking knowledge, then you're never gonna learn. You're never gonna surpass certain things. Right? So for me, I was just happy to be in the room.
Yeah.
I wasn't even worried about being a musician or whatever. I was just a fan, and I'm in the room.
I think that's major because a lot of times people are in the room and they doing so much talking.
Yes.
They can't even absorb the room.
I'm a people watcher.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you know I'm a people watcher.
People.
I want to see what's going on. I
all
want
the time.
to clock the next move. I think, or you know, or even how I should be moving.
I'm a Virgo, so for me,
I'm a Scorpio because you know I said the Virgo thing a couple of times. I'm a Scorpio. That's all.
Well, you know, for us, everything is calculated, right?
Yeah.
We don't take steps without knowing what that next thing is going to be.
We like that.
So I just happened to be in the room and just soak up knowledge. And as I got into high school, I kind of tried to do the rapper thing at the time. I wasn't really that good, you know what I'm saying? But I was just a fan.
Was support there? Was your mother's
father?
No.
No.
Did you have a mom and father that was like, hey, you can do whatever you want to do?
I grew up with a single mom.
Come on, me
in the
too.
Bronx,
Me
you know
too.
what I mean? And you know, my
shout out
mom,
to all the single mamas.
Yeah, shout out to
shout out to all the single mamas. We love you, man.
And my mom at the time, you know, being an old school Dominican lady from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, she wasn't into hip hop, you know what I mean? And the cursing and all that stuff. And we growing up in the street in the Bronx and her seeing what actually happens in the street, she wasn't a fan of that.
Okay.
So there was no support when it came to that. But luckily, I found support in people like Tony Sunshine, who's my brother, and different artists like that, Cuban Links and those guys at the time, that was like, nah, like, you need to do this. Like, you got a talent, you know what I mean? And even when I didn't think I had a talent. And it took those guys to tell me that, to be like, let me try this.
Here it is. You falling in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
But like, what was that initial thing? Like, can you remember like when you fell in love with it?
Man, I can never forget it because it was crazy. So, you know, I grew up in New York City in a time of the bootleggers and the bootleggings.
Yeah.
And bootleg CDs and mixtapes. So, you know, me being a kid.
Did you ever bootleg a tape where you held it down?
Hell yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I did all that. You know what I mean? Make the little mixtapes for the girl that you like and all
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, so, you know, me growing up in the projects and being where we were from and me just being kids, right? We knew that we had a bootlegger in the building that we knew that had mixtapes and sold the bootlegs, and we knew where he kept it at. Now, this is probably like the second or third time that we tried to break into the dude's locker, right? So this time we actually got in the locker, but we found boxes. And when I tell you it was boxes, it was like from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of bootleg mixtapes. And so now we're going through the boxes. Everybody's taking a box. Now we got the older kids coming and taking boxes.
They taking boxes?
Taking boxes.
Okay.
Not tapes and boxes. So me being me, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do the crazy shit. I'm gonna grab a tape or two. I grabbed 2 different tapes at the time. Tapes, not CDs. Tapes.
Yeah.
And I grabbed Tupac's Me Against the World and Dr. Dre The Chronic.
So did you actually like go through this and say, I want those? Or that's just what you grabbed?
It was what I saw first.
So
because now, you know, I'm 6, 7 years old. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I ain't want to get caught.
Yeah.
My mom is known for coming out and beating all our asses, right? So I just grabbed what I could take. And it just so happened it was Dr. Dre The Chronic and Tupac Me Against the World.
Some iconic albums.
Iconic. Yeah.
Like, and it kind of like, ushered you in.
Exactly. And now when I think about it now, it again, everything is divine to me. So I think that was done on purpose, right? I went home and listened to Tupac front and back, and that became my music idol. That became who I wanted to be. You know what I mean? I remember when he died, I was a kid crying.
Oh yeah.
Never met Tupac, but I'm crying because that's all I knew with hip hop.
Yeah.
And Me Against the World is what started my love for hip hop and for music. And to this day, I still listen to that album 24/7.
To this day, my husband still listens to the album. And he played it like it just came out.
I'm telling you.
And he want us, I mean, that's how we know he about to barbecue in a good mood.
Yeah.
You hear the music, but you like, oh, we about to get some ribs.
It's so crazy that now my kids love Tupac.
Of course,
You know
because what we
play it so
enjoy,
much.
our kids will.
Yeah.
So now you're 6 or 7.
Yeah,
You played the Tupac. You got the Dr. Dre. Now life is happening. You said, I want to be a hip hop artist. How do you go? How do you even maneuver into that? Because I mean, most kids like, I want to be a doctor. Did you have those dreams and goals?
Nah,
because you was hooping too.
I'm from the South Bronx. Like we literally lived hip hop. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
our lifestyle. And then I grew up in the neighborhood where hip hop started, right? So I grew up 3 buildings down from the building where Kool Herc and everybody started and had that first party of hip hop, the hip hop party.
Can you believe that? You talking about the first hip hop party, and we're just now celebrating 50 years.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy,
Only
crazy.
50 years.
And they did a big ass concert on my old block by Yankee Stadium. Wow. You know what I mean? For the 50th anniversary.
So imagine that, like how far the world has shifted in 50 years. Hip hop literally changed the culture of the world.
It changed the world.
It changed the world.
And it's much more than just music. It's a lifestyle. It's how we dress. It's how we talk. It's how we conduct ourselves.
So you're playing this, right? You got this Dominican mother. You have other siblings in the house?
Yeah.
How many?
I got 2 other sisters.
So you got sisters.
Yeah.
Are you sneaking and playing this? Or are your siblings into it? Or are you like,
so at
don't
the
tell
time,
mommy?
Yeah, it was a mixture of that, right? It was like, don't tell I was the oldest, so they were younger than me anyway.
Okay, yeah.
But it was at the time where we still had Walkmans, right? So I had my little headphones on. You couldn't tell me. No, I was going to sleep with Tupac, Me Against the World for like the first 4 months. Every single night, you know what I mean? And
so you were 7 ready for a fucking revolution.
Yeah.
Like you ready to start?
I'm a Black Panther at that point. Like you can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? Like I'm Pac's cousin at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it really like just kind of honed in my love for music and my love for being a voice, right? Being a voice, because Pac to me was just a voice. Whether he was going through a tough time, whether he was happy, he wanted to beat somebody's ass, it was a voice that carried you through those different situations.
So now you're 6 or 7. You want to be a hip hop artist. Where do you go from there? So now we blossoming. We in high school.
Yeah.
Life is happening, I'm sure.
Life is happening. I'm meeting different people around my neighborhood.
Okay.
At the time.
Because the Bronx.
BX.
I mean, the Bronx has a very strong like heritage. Like y'all are really. They say the home, or is that Brooklyn?
No, the BX that's the home base.
I thought that was the home. I thought the Bronx was the home of
It's the home of hip hop.
It's the home of hip hop.
And again, it's because hip hop was created in the Bronx.
That's so crazy.
That building is what birthed hip hop. That first party is where they played hip hop music, and
you in the heart of this.
I'm in the heart of it, and I know these people. You know what I mean? So I'm a little kid as I'm growing up now. And I started kind of getting to high school, and I started kind of trying to be in the studio. It's a cool thing. Everybody's recording, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just so happen to be around people who are doing it, and who are also Latin, Terror Squad. So now I'm
shout
around.
Out to the Terror Squad. That's so lit.
Shout out to the Terror Squad. So I'm around my brother Tony Sunshine, Cuban Link at the time, Triple Sace, Getty, Prospect, all these different people, Remy, you know what I mean? All these different people who are me. They're Latin. They want to do hip hop.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'm still a fan. I'm not trying to be an artist.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan, right? And I'm soaking up all this different knowledge. I'm soaking up the studio, how to be an engineer, and how to do all that. You know what I mean? I'm an
so
IT
you playing your part. You're not in there trying to be like,
my part.
Hey, this is who I am. You like, let me
not
sit back and learn.
To the point that they wanted me to do music, and I'm like, nah, I was scared. You know what I mean? Because you gotta think about it. I'm a kid around some legends.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just around John from down the block trying to rap and.
But you know what's crazy? They saw it in you though.
They saw
and
it
that's
in
what
me.
it is.
Yeah.
They see people that passion when you in the studio or anywhere.
I don't know what it was, and I think that people, when God puts people in your space for a certain reason, you know what I mean. And I fought for years to not do the music because I didn't think I was good enough because I'm around legends. It's not like I'm around Lil John and we just rapping. I'm around Pun and these huge legends, you know what I'm saying, in the game.
That's trailblazing right now.
That's trailblazing,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then as I get older, go through high school, I start kind of dabbling into music. Again, shout out to Tone Sunshine. He's the one that kind of pushed me to be an artist and to try it. You know what I mean? And my people casual. At the time, one of my best friends had the biggest record in New York City. You know what I mean? He was a Latin, he was an R&B singer. He was like a little Latin R. Kelly, you know what I mean? And
come on, Latin R. Kelly.
Yeah. And he had a record.
I bet you that was everything.
He had a record called Puerto Rico that was on the radio every night. Funkmaster Flex is dropping bombs on it. And you know, so I had these people around me.
So them people around you. So now you getting this burning sensation, this fire. It's like, oh my God. Can you go home and tell your mama? No.
Hell no.
Okay, what mama on? What mama saying?
First of all, my mom is one of the most gangster people I met in my life. You know what I mean?
What you say?
5 foot nothing.
Yeah. When your mama like that, yeah. Thank you,
my
mama.
mom was that neighborhood mom that every other parent in the neighborhood allowed my mom to beat their kid's ass if their kid acted up.
Damn.
Yeah. So like people would see my mom coming and they running. You know what I mean?
You running too?
I'm running too. Hell yeah.
So you ain't have to worry about no bullying on the block because everybody's scared of your mama.
Not at all. Plus, I was a fighter. You know what I mean? I was always fighting. I grew up fighting. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
I was a fighter too.
Yeah.
Do I look like a fighter?
I can see that. I can see that. You got them hands. You know
I got them hands. Yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, I mean, really, Chris got them hands. I mean, she got the hand up. Well, that's neither here or there. Y'all mess with Miss Nova if you want to. Okay.
I'm telling you.
So your mama like she not going.
Nah. My mom's old school Dominican lady. You know what I mean? She immigrated from the Dominican Republic. You know what I mean? Her brothers and sisters. She became their mom when she immigrated out here. You know what I'm saying? Their parents stood back for 5 years in the Dominican Republic, so they pretty much raised themselves. And my mom, being the oldest, raised 8 of her brothers and sisters.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So my mom was not for the shit. And you know, again, we grew up in the South Bronx. We're from the hood. You know what I mean? We grew up in the middle of all the craziness that was going on in the Bronx in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Did she ever find out?
Yeah. She found out because my teacher had I was in class one time just rhyming in my little rhyme book, and my teacher took the book and read it, and was there was a lot of curses in it. So they called my mom's, and my mom's found the book and ripped up the entire book, threw it out the window. Out the window, my joints.
No, she didn't.
Joints is flying everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, we live in like a 10th floor, so you got all these different pages.
So she said, "Oh, you weren't gonna piece this back together."
Not at all.
Oh, baby, you want to go downstairs on that scavenger.
My mom was the type of mom that kids nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You look at them wrong, and they threaten to call the cops on you. Yeah. My mom would give you the phone and be like, "Hey, call the cops."
You know what? I had one of mama too. Mama, I was like, "I'm gonna run away." She's like, "Don't run, walk." I'm like, "You want me to leave?"
Yeah. So she ripped up the book, threw it out the window. At the time, I'm a kid. I love wrestling. I was crying. You know what I mean? I thought I was nice. I'm crying.
Yeah.
Right? But being a kid at the time, I'm also a wrestling fan. I'm recording Bulls games and all that. She threw all that shit out the window. Oh, with the book.
Everything. Because she don't trust nothing you do.
No, yeah, exactly.
You not finna be a wrestler?
No.
You ain't about to be nothing.
Play ball.
What did she want for you? Because a lot of times we live in these worlds and our parents want something totally different for us.
Yeah, my mom is big on education. Always has been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So she thought you were gonna be a dentist.
I don't think she had a plan for me, but what she did want for me was to get out the hood.
Come on.
You know what I mean? That was her plan.
You did that.
That was
her
plan.
You did that. Easy,
yeah.
easy.
So,
big house. Yeah.
If you're in the Bronx, if you're by Fordham Road and University Avenue, I might still find some of those pages flying around somewhere.
But if I find a page, I'm gonna go so hard. I'm uploading it. I'm like, Sonny, drop the beat. We had Acid Studios. All right, so that's your hip hop era, right?
Yeah, man.
Your hip hop era. So you hip hop, when you transitioned from New York to Atlanta, were you still in the hip hop zone of that, or?
Yeah. But even before coming to Atlanta, I had went to college. I had started a group with my roommates at the time.
Okay.
Called Street Corner.
Shout out to Street Corner.
Yeah. Shout out to Street Corner, man. Kellz, T Breeze, ML the singer, Notes, Trife. We did 4 songs in our dorm room that went crazy. And those 4 songs took us all around. No, y'all didn't.
Not 4 songs.
It took us all around the world. We performed the same 4 songs for like 2 years.
Did y'all drop out of school?
No, it was so crazy that we were so busy after we dropped these 4 records that we didn't have time to record more songs. So we're literally performing every day after school in different places, different states. Sometimes we're taking a couple of days off of school to go perform in Cali, go do this, go do that.
But 4 songs, back then 4 songs could have potentially be 24 minutes.
Listen,
they
were
like
3.5 minutes.
Y'all songs only 3.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Because songs was long.
Long.
But
we had interludes, we had, what you call them joints, little intros and
so y'all had like a 15, 20 minute set.
Listen, we thought we was doing it. We thought
was doing it.
We thought we was like Terror Squad, baby Terror Squad, you know what I mean? But now doing all these different songs and performing and everything, one of our songs leaks out to Germany and ends up being #1 on the German charts. Germany, Switzerland, the Netherlands.
Big flex.
Japan, you know what I mean? And
But not on purpose.
We started not on purpose.
I didn't even know.
We didn't even know. I just happened to be bored one day in school, man, and got on Google. You know what I'm saying?
That's common.
And
being bored at school is common.
Yeah, and just started, Googling our names, Googling my names, and
all these different. You Googled yourself?
I Googled myself. Yeah.
I'm Googleable, bitch. I'm Googleable.
And then, so different websites started popping up in German and in Japan and Japanese, whatever. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So me being who I am and me being this IT person, I started messaging anybody back like, it's MySpace days. I'm like, yo, that's me. Like, you know what I mean?
MySpace was
what can we do? Like, I can do a drop, I can do whatever, like, and long story, we find out the record 2 weeks later was called I Just Wanna, ended up becoming #1 on the DJ charts, which at the time is what tells you what's the hottest records in the club.
Wow.
Right? And from then on, we started, just building relationships and doing shows out there and sending more music.
So y'all didn't even know like the power of streaming then. Though.
Not at all. No, it was early. It was MySpace.
That's what I'm saying.
So page, you know what I mean? But they got the records off of our MySpace pages. And that's how the records just took off. And then from there, we had a #1 record, a number 5 record, a #2 record. Like we stayed on the charts for 2 years.
And here y'all are 19, 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
y'all getting it. Y'all traveling around the world. 19, 20, traveling around the world, still in college, still holding it down. Did you graduate?
Still in college. I graduated.
Come on, let's go. Big degree.
Half a year late, but I graduated.
Oh, it don't matter. I mean, take your time.
But you got to picture this, right? We're college kids. We're broke for the most part.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
We're broke, and that's a whole different conversation. But we're broke. You know what I'm saying? Couple noodles, McDonald's every day.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And we recorded these 4 songs, not in the studio, you know what I'm saying, but in our dorm room. We had a big double-door closet that I used to open up.
Yeah.
We used to put a blanket on top of the doors to be like a little soundproof thing.
Let's go.
And back then,
go, Nova.
They still got it now. They got them extra large McDonald's soda cups. Right?
Okay.
We popped our mic into the cup.
No, y'all
and then the top of the lid was the pop filter.
Who said do that?
With a stocking cap.
Who said do that? Y'all
That was me. That was me.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah. That's why you was the leader. That's why you was the leader.
And that's how we recorded, man. And our room became that room that everybody wanted to hang out in, party in, record in.
It was a studio where the next big thing was happening.
It was a bootleg-ass studio, but that bootleg studio took us around the world.
Around the world.
Yeah.
So now you're around the world, graduate college.
Yep.
Are you going straight into a career, or are you saying, music is my thing, I want to do this? And is the group still together too, though, after college?
No, so, one of the things, and it took us 5 years to kind of get back to a good place.
Okay.
We just recently got back into a good place.
Okay.
And those are my brothers, you know what I'm saying? But what happened is we, in the midst of doing all these shows with those 4 songs for 2 years, we're getting paid and not realizing that we're getting paid. We thinking we're doing free promo shows. And
don't play with me.
Yeah.
You ever seen these fingers? These color purple fingers all my life, but don't play with me. So you mean tell me you got a management team?
We got a management team.
Sending y'all around the world, and you not seeing none of the residuals.
We're man, we performed. I want to say we performed in every single club from here to Cali. You know what I mean? Up and down the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest. You know what I mean? Festivals. If you ever been to New York, the Puerto Rican parade. It's one of the biggest things in New York. Over 3 million people.
Yeah.
We're performing in that every single year.
So this is my thing. And as an artist, we are definitely excited about opportunities.
Yes.
But a lot of times people play on the fact that we're excited about
it.
And we're naive.
We're naive.
And they're like, hey, this is an opportunity
that
I'm giving you. Knowing damn well that they're getting paid, the money is there. But we're just excited to get that exposure.
Yeah, and looking back,
management knew.
Looking back on it now, I'm glad it happened. Because I learned a lot of shit at that time. But we found out one of the booking agents just happened to hit me up on MySpace and was like, yo, I need you to come back and do another show, same price. And I'm like, same price? What price?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We do so many. What price?
Yes. And then that's how I kind of started finding out, well, we paid your manager $10K, we paid your manager $5K, we did this, we did that. And it became this big thing where we had to confront our management at the time. And me being a loyal person that I am, I still wanted to give them another chance, right? Because for me, if you grind with me, and you down with me from day one, I'm not gonna turn my back on you. You know what I mean? But
that was too big though.
It didn't sit well with the rest of the group. You know what I mean? So that kind of created some friction. As these records started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I started doing more and more features as a solo artist.
Okay.
Which did, again, rubbed the crew the wrong way.
Yeah.
I never thought I was the nicest in the crew, the dopest. You know what I mean? But people always latched on to me.
Well, star power is real. I don't know any of the other guys in the group, but star power is real, right? When you walk in the room, that's a thing. It's a total package. How can I package a person versus a group versus all those things?
But it's not something that I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Because
it shows you.
This is my family. This is my brothers. Like, you know, we gonna win together. You know what I mean? And now these records start leaking out. These records are getting bigger and bigger overseas. And instead of it saying Street Corner, it's saying Nova.
Oh, right? Hell.
So, you know, Nova, the
this
name
is
of the record.
good.
And that just, you know, we started kind of deteriorating. The friendship.
But that's still not your doing, right?
You're not my doing. No, it's not my doing. I'm actually hitting people up like, no, this is a Street Corner record. Like, take my name off the joint. Because I felt bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt bad. And now we're doing bigger festivals, bigger shows.
What's the largest festival you done?
The Puerto Rican Parade, 3 million people.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
That is the biggest thing in New York City every summer. You know what I mean? And we performed that shit faithfully.
Yeah, I think I'm about to be
the Dominican
I'm about to do
Festival,
that.
the Dominican Parade. You know, we performed in Cali. Like I said, we did all these different clubs all around the world. Germany, you know what I'm saying? But as we started getting bigger, I started getting bigger as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? As a separate thing from the group, even though that wasn't what I wanted. But how did
that make you feel though? Like what did that do?
I didn't want it. I didn't want it, man. I did not want it.
Physical, like for far as you moving forward with your career, did you feel like it slowed you down? Did you take some steps back from things because you didn't want to offend them?
I on purpose took steps back, right? And you know, now I learned you don't ever dim your light for anybody, right? But at the time, and even to this day, you know, I was raised to be humble and take everything in as it's supposed to be, but understand that this shit could all be gone tomorrow.
So my husband says, stop mistaking humility for you not being like who you are. Like sometimes we say, I'm humble, but even in your humility, you still who you are. And if I pop out and my pop out offends you, that's something wrong with you. That's your insecurity.
You gotta live in your truth.
You gotta live in your truth. Like,
but at the time, I'm a young kid. You know what I mean? I want my team to win so bad. And I just started doing a lot more solo things and events and press things and speaking engagements.
And New York is one of the largest meccas and arenas for music.
Yes.
How do you leave New York and how do you get to make this transition to Atlanta? Because Atlanta is still like a up top popping. So it's New York, Atlanta, New York.
At the time, we had a record called NY Swag that went crazy in New York City. Crazy.
It went what?
It went crazy.
Crazy. You know, anytime when somebody from New York say, yo, crazy, son, wow.
It went crazy. It went crazy overseas. We had people on YouTube doing dance videos to an NY Swag record in Germany.
Okay.
They crip walking in Germany to our record. On videos.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally crip walking. And it was crazy. Like this became our biggest joint, you know what I mean? And we had a couple of different deals on the table.
Yeah.
I decided that the deal wasn't good for us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which again created some more friction. And I remember getting on a phone call with the team, and they were like, "Well, you know, you're the Justin Bieber of the crew, so what do you want to do?"
Ooh.
And I was like, "Wait, what?
Wait, what? Oh, that was shade.
Yeah.
That was shade. So they got a group chat without you. They had a group chat without you.
Exactly. And for me, it hurt because
that ain't no new shit.
It hurt though because I was really big on my team.
Mm-hmm. Like
if anybody that knows me knows I'm loyal to the death of me, right? So I on purpose would not do things because I didn't want it to rub people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So that hurt me, and I'm like, all right, well, cool. You know what? I don't need to do this with y'all no more. And at the time, Scales, shout out to my brother Scales. His son is my godson.
Okay.
Like this is more than just music for us. Like we're a family. You know what I mean?
We like that.
And like shootouts and all types of shit. And I ended up saying, okay, well, you know, I'm not going to do this no more with you guys. As soon as word started getting out that I'm a solo artist now, I had different deals on the table. Mm-hmm. I signed at that time with Spectra, which was under Sony at the time. And I did my whole album. You know, I had my brother Fred the Godson, rest in peace. Everybody was on my first album. And I had took that advance check. And I had a conversation with Hussein Fatal of the Outlaws, who full circle. You know what I mean? Me being a huge Tupac fan, and him being my favorite outlaw. When I signed my deal, I reached out.
That's dope. I mean, it's the name.
No,
I mean, I don't know if niggas know these names. Are you going right? You was really outside. I mean, this shit is really bananas though. No, because you really too humble dropping the names. Like everybody in the back, like, oh.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though, right? When I signed my deal, they gave me a nice little advance.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, my whole album was done.
Yeah. Ooh.
But they gave me a check to record my album.
Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do some things with this. So even though my album's already done, I wanted to get some features.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Fatal on Twitter, out of all places. And I said, bro, I'm a huge fan. Like, y'all the reason why I even love hip-hop. You know what I mean? You're my favorite outlaw. Like, how much to get you on a record? And he's like, nah, I'm a fan of you. Send me some shit. I got you.
Come on, man. Come on. Who said favor ain't fair?
Yeah.
Who said it?
Yeah,
it is. You asked, you shall receive. God, thank
man, you. I sent him 5 records. I said, bro,
how many?
4 or 5 records.
Which one
I said,
you want?
bro, pick a record.
Pick a record.
Pick one.
Is that common to send a nigga 5 records?
Hell no. But this is who's saying. This is
That's
what
I'm saying. Y'all send them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I sent him 5 records. 3 days later, he sends me all 5 records back. Done.
Wait a minute.
I asked him for 1 feature. He gave me 5.
Boy, you snapped. You snapped. So overflow.
Yeah. So on my first album, he's on 3 records.
Okay.
So
do it crazy.
We ended up, becoming friends and having a dope relationship, man. And when it was time for his album, he called me like, "Yo, I need you on my project." So I did some production on it. I mastered it. I mixed it. And at the time, the Outlaws were living in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I had called Fatal up, and I'm like, "Look, there's nothing else I can do in New York."
Oh, so you reached the ceiling?
Yeah, I felt like I did. That's
a real thing.
I was doing shows and Mr. Cheeks, and we had this conversation earlier with the Lost Boys thing, and I remember Cheeks and Mike Geronimo came up to me and my crew one day, and they was like, "Yo, he a star. Y'all gotta protect that man." And I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm just me. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, like you get a ticket out of here. You know what I mean? So,
you know what? Meal ticket. Yeah. Because I'm gonna eat.
At the time,
and the fact that you always saying that you're loyal. Not only are you their ticket, you're their meal ticket. Like,
exactly.
You're gonna make sure that everybody eat, because everybody's not gonna become a star and come back and make sure that the team
real
eat.
shit. But then you start seeing certain things. So you start seeing, they tell you at the time, like, jealousy comes from inside, and it comes from your neighborhood and from where you're from, right?
Neighborhood come from your family, your friends.
Yeah, and it hurt me because I'm so big and so pro BX. That as I'm starting to do shows around me and Sunshine, we're doing shows, and we start seeing some of the envy and jealousy, and now we're fighting at shows, and me and Sunshine done jumped off stage a couple times to fight, like, you know what I'm saying? So
I fuck with you, the jumping off the stage.
Yeah,
I just want to let you know.
We did that.
I trust you a little bit more. Yeah.
We did that faithfully.
I trust you a little bit more international.
And we had this one last show in Long Island, man, and we literally fought the club. You know what I mean? And
that was a deal breaker. Gotta go.
So at that point, I'm like, man, we can't keep doing this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Now, it wasn't even something that was my beef, you know what I'm saying? But my family's my family, you know what I mean? So something happened. We jumped off stage. The whole club is fighting with us. Like, we're fighting like 5, 6 different people. They're all fighting with us. Ends up being a crazy thing. At the time, I'm like, fuck, we're fucking up our money. The owner of the club, they closed the whole shit down, kick everybody out. He comes in, he's like, yo, that's the best time of my life.
Oh, God.
We ended up spending the whole night with the owner just drinking at the club. But I realized I can't keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I hit my ceiling in New York. So much more I can do. So I called Fatal. I said, bro, I'm thinking about moving. He cut me off. Yo, just do it.
I love it.
Come here.
I love it.
Matter of fact, I'm on tour. When I get back, let's do a whole album together. Because we had talked about doing a whole album called Wolfpack. And he was like, look, when I get back from I think there was in Switzerland at the time. When I get back, let's get right to work.
When I get back, you should be stable, and you should be set up already.
Yeah, because they were out there, I think it was for like 2 months.
But hold on, not even that though. But fuck even how long they was out there. The fact that he said, come on, we not about to play with you. And I think that's putting that fire under you. It was important. Think about it. A lot of people will try to pull a procrastinating spirit over you. And they think like, no, hurry up.
Fatal, always big bro from day one. And he's like, nah, like, come out here. I got you. Matter of fact, when I get back from tour, let's do this album.
So now you in Atlanta.
I moved to Atlanta.
Y'all get the album done right away? Y'all?
Nah, man. Craziest shit is that a week after I moved here, he called me, yo, I'll be back in ATL tomorrow or 2 days from now. He had to go to a funeral in Jersey. On his way back from the funeral, he ended up getting in a car accident. He died on 285. So we never got to finish the album. We were like 3 or 4 records in. But, something that I always kind of hold close to me because, my life is full of different tragic events like that, right? Yeah. But for me, it's like I have to kind of take from those things and learn and build on those things. So for me, we lost Fatal, you know what I'm saying? But what I learned from that was he believed in what I was doing enough to say, yo, let's do a whole album together. Yeah. Move to Atlanta, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that happened, but I moved to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? My first day in Atlanta.
Did you have was your premise of moving to Atlanta based upon Fatal? And when he died,
somewhat.
When he passed away,
somewhat.
What did it do for you and your energy and your momentum?
Nah, it crushed me because, I'm a huge Tupac Outlaw fan.
Yeah.
Fatal was my favorite outlaw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that I built a friendship with him to the point that we're on the phone all the time and we're emailing songs back and forth and me looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, not only am I moving to Atlanta, I'm doing an album with my favorite artist.
So is the drive still there?
You know,
after this,
it was a tough time the first few months because we had kind of had a really dope friendship, big brother, little brother thing, really quickly. You know what I'm saying? So for me moving out here and expecting that and then not having that, it kind of crushed me a little bit. You know what I mean?
So do you feel like you out there by yourself now? Now you feel like you in Atlanta?
I was, yeah, because I moved to Atlanta not knowing a person in Atlanta. Not ever been to Atlanta before.
Wait.
Nah, man.
Wait.
I went on faith.
Oh, come on! Wait a minute. Faith. The plot thickens. Wait a minute. You never even been to Atlanta?
Nah, the most.
You sound like my husband. That's how we got here.
The closest I've been to ATL was a layover. I took a flight one time from Cali, layover in Atlanta, in a snowstorm, and then back to New York. And that was the only time I ever been in Atlanta before that.
So now you're here. You don't have that support system that initially was going to be like that. They're going to be here, right?
Yeah.
Now what are we doing? What is how? Because that's enough to send somebody back to New York.
Yeah.
Right?
At the time, I was lucky, man. I found family.
Blessed, yes.
Yes, I was blessed. I found family and other people, you know what I mean, in Atlanta.
Okay.
My first day or two in Atlanta, I had an interview. And at that interview, it was with Dave Tolliver, who became and still is my big brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the legendary group Men at Large.
I love Dave. Dave is my homeboy.
That's my brother.
No, that's my homeboy. Yeah, like we was in plays together. I love Dave.
Yeah, he was at my wedding. Like, you know what I mean?
I would have been there if I would have met y'all.
Like Dave and Shell and
love Dave.
I produced music for his daughter. You know what I mean? But that's family. So I met him my first day here. And in the waiting room to be interviewed by Dave, because at the time we were signed to the same label.
Okay.
Which is why, they set that up. Go meet Dave. He's on, it was me, him, Adina Howard, Fredro Starr, and Jermaine Jackson, which is crazy shit. But Jermaine Jackson, we were all signed to this label, right? And so I meet Dave, but in the waiting room to meet Dave, I'm going into the studio to do the interview. Bone Crusher's coming out.
Yeah.
So I ended up meeting Bone. So I met Bone and I met his wife Story, and I just gave him my album. I was like, look, I would love to work. Here's my album.
You did it that calm? You said his name, and I said,
I had to because I'm real big on you're supposed to be in these places. If you're supposed to be in these places, you can't be starstruck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So I met Bone, gave him my album. Didn't think none of it. He ain't gonna call me, you know what I mean? I'm a kid from New York. He ain't gonna call me, you know what I mean? I'm a Spanish kid from New York.
With all this stardust on you, go ahead though.
So
with all this stardust on you, don't think nothing on you.
Yeah, I do the interview. Everything goes great. I'm in the car driving home, and I get a text from Bone Crusher. He's like, "Yo, where you live at?" At the time, I was living in Dallas, Georgia.
Okay.
Don't ever move to Dallas.
Damn, I'm like, hey, they got a Dallas, Georgia. I didn't even know that.
Don't ever move to
how far is Dallas from downtown Atlanta?
Dallas, Georgia, from 45 minutes. Which became a huge.
I've never heard of Dallas,
Georgia. Later on.
Georgia.
Well, so I lived in Dallas.
Okay.
So I told Boy I'm living in Dallas. He's like, man, move the hell out of there.
Okay.
Right? So I ended up meeting up with Bone like 2 or 3 days later. And we did our first record together 2 or 3 days later. And after that, Bone became like my big brother in Atlanta. You know what I mean? He took me around. I met everybody through Bone. You know, I worked with everybody. Music Soul Child, been at my house 3 or 4 times recording, just hanging out with us, watching cartoons. I ended up being a huge Rick and Morty fan through Music Soul Child.
Wow. We
had a studio session at my house. My house became like the studio. Everybody was in my house recording.
That's so dope.
Yeah. So he brought music one day, and I'm a huge R&B fanatic.
But how long is this time span since you've been here?
Oh man, at this point, a year.
You here a year,
yeah,
and now your house is the spot.
Yeah,
people coming in and out. They recording, they drinking Kool-Aid out of
pretty much.
At the picture.
Yeah,
y'all watching Rick and Morty. Y'all.
Within my first week to 10 days here, I'm in the studio with Lil Kim, Usher, just sitting, just being a sponge because of Bone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I met Deb, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Them some major keys.
Yeah. And so he brought music. Him and Music are best friends, and his wife. And I never met Music. I'm a huge R&B fanatic.
Love Music
Soul Child. I'm like,
Music
Soul Child is gonna be fire.
Y'all still real close?
We spent the entire first day just watching Rick and Morty for like 8 hours. Music is a big kid, and he's super dope. And then come to find out, Music's birthday is the day before mine.
Oh, so y'all already had that type of
yeah. So again, it was just different things like that.
Are y'all still close? You ain't hear?
Me and Bone?
No, not Bone. You on Music Soul Child.
When we see each other.
Oh, because I was trying to.
Yeah, when we see each other. You know what I mean?
I want to meet him. I don't want to say.
You know, I was really close to Bone for like 4 years here.
Okay.
And then, you know, just through different things, we kind of went just different directions.
That's it. Hold on. So that's important too. Because people sometimes think that when you have these relationships, they have to be forever.
Yeah,
some things are just seasonal things. Some things are just get you there to get to the next blessing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you understand when people are in your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Those lifetime people, you don't even have to second guess. And some people just to help you move to the next journey. And so, especially when you just said it clear as day, when we see each other, it's up. It ain't nothing.
It's always love.
It's always love. Because our assignment was over at that point.
Yeah.
But who's to say when a new assignment comes,
that
won't be it. Speaking of new assignments, man, like, I know we talked about y'all being married, but I don't think you understand that your wedding was like in People magazine, right? Like, that's big. That's saying that people want to know about this love story. People want to know about what's going on with you guys.
I'm going to tell you the craziest part about this thing, right? Is that we really wanted a small, intimate wedding.
The audacity of you.
Right? The audacity.
The audacity.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that some shit?
But we wanted a small, intimate wedding, right? So we planned for a small, intimate wedding. It really was a small, intimate wedding. But as word started to spread, that, hey, you know, we're gonna get married, this, and that. Dave's calling me, different people, James. My family, because I only invited certain people in my family because the place only fits 25 people.
Okay.
It was a small, intimate wedding.
Yeah.
So I'm telling my family, like, look, I can only, you know, get my immediate family. I'm sorry, guys, but it's a small little thing. In a year, we're gonna do a big vow renewal. Y'all can come down.
Yeah.
Man. You shitting me. We had the wedding. The wedding ended up being beautiful. Right?
Absolutely.
Again, it's still a small, intimate wedding. We get on a plane the next morning, go to Puerto Rico for the honeymoon. My phone is going crazy. People magazine picked it up. They rated it one of the top celebrity weddings of 2023.
Yay!
All these different platforms started picking it up.
Come on, man.
And it was just crazy, man. It was literally, we're on the plane like, what the hell? Bing, 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 bing. And my wife, being new to the industry, was like, what does this mean? and it was just funny, man. But it's dope to know that people want us to win. It's dope to know that our love story captures people. You know
and guess what? And it also lets you know that people are always watching.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So what we think even... So I think that using the scale of small is almost like kind of like obsolete in our world.
Yeah.
Right? Intimate, right? Things like that. But
right,
small...
So let me tell you the crazy part, though.
Everything we do is grande.
Okay, but let me tell you how that shit blew up in my face.
Come on, okay, Tim, because I wasn't invited either.
Everybody thinks this was a huge fucking wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because it's on People magazine. Telemundo picked
it up.
So now my family is like, oh, I thought this was a small wedding. This doesn't look small. I'm like, nah, it's a small. It's angles to everything, right? It's just angles, yo. But it became this crazy thing because now my family's pissed at me. They didn't come to the wedding.
But are y'all doing a big wedding? Of course you are.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
We're gonna do a vow renewal. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Small wedding, big wedding, that motherfucker is stressful.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Can I give y'all another tip?
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. That's okay.
I'm telling you.
If they missed it, that's okay. They gonna have to watch it on People, because what y'all about to do in this next year, y'all ain't gonna have time to be doing all that planning because it's about to take off. The takeoff.
It's opened up a lot of doors, man. I can't even lie.
And if you
crazy.
think those doors are open, imagine the stuff that you don't even see that's coming yet, right?
Man,
that unity, when God put a man and woman together, that unity is the doors of the flow and the blessings and all this stuff. It's an overflow.
Yeah.
So now it's about to be even better. It was good when we just had international, but now we have
it's going to be amazing. You know,
Nova and Chris,
and we have our son Prince as well.
Prince
Dior Nova.
Yes,
you know I mean?
Prince Dior Nova sound like a superstar.
I'm telling you, that was the reason why we named him that way.
Yeah.
But you know, life is full of ups and downs and blessings.
How do you handle your downs? Because you are, to me, you got this good energy, but.
So I'm gonna tell you something that I'm really big on. I don't get too happy for the good times, and I don't get too sad for the bad times. Right? Just a year ago, I almost lost a finger. Right?
What?
I had to get 4 surgeries.
Can I see?
I had pins on my hand.
What happened?
Long story, but long story short, my dogs had got into a fight, and I'm trying to break my dogs up. Normally, I can break them up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We just moved into our house, big house, 1 million freaking light switches. I don't know where anything is at, and they got into it. So we tried to break them up. My hand got caught in the middle. We all kind of tumbled. And I'm not realizing how bad my hand is hurt. I just kind of wrapped it up with my t-shirt and go right back to breaking them up. By the time I look at it, my finger's hanging and my bone is popping out the skin. So the EMTs come to get me. I'm laughing and joking the entire time with the EMTs. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm in the back of the ambulance just like, yo, you know, did y'all see the game last night? Like, I'm just having a good time, not realizing how bad this shit is.
Oh, yeah.
So we get to the ER. My wife is going crazy because...
As she should.
It's the ER. You don't get seen in the ER for hours unless you're a gunshot victim, right? So by the time they take me to the back, the doctor sees my finger and he's like, you need immediate surgery. You need a specialist as soon as possible. You'll be lucky if you can keep the finger. And
don't talk to me like that.
I'm still there like, man, I'm good, man. Like, you know, my finger's gonna be all right. Not realizing how bad my joint was. It looked like my finger was in a blender. And I went to break them up and my hand just got caught in the middle. And my young one, thinking it was the older one biting him, bit me. So when I looked at him, like, oh, let go. So when he saw me, he like let go and ran, you know, because he didn't realize that he bit me. Yeah. So, okay, so we get to the doctor. The doctor tells me I need surgery, immediate surgery. I got to go see a specialist in the morning. I'm still thinking I'm going to be all right, you know?
Right.
We go have surgery in the morning. They knock me out. By the time I wake up, the doctor comes to me on the bed, and she's like, I didn't realize how bad it was. She said, your finger was hanging on by a couple of ligaments. She said, you almost lost that finger.
Damn, you needed that finger to get married.
Yeah. So, you know, and it was my ring finger,
yes,
right?
Damn.
And, but it was so crazy. So the bone popped out the skin. I lost a piece of the bone itself. You know what I mean? So I had to go through 4 different surgeries. I had pins on my hand for like the first 6 months. You know what I mean? I still can't, you know, I'm supposed to have like 90% movement back in my finger. I'm probably around 80 right now, 85. But you know, I still got the finger. God is good.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could it make you mug the dogs a little bit?
No, those are my babies.
Oh, I still mugged them.
Those are my babies.
Yeah. Y'all get the fight if you all want to. Yo, I bet you won't be breaking it in. You ain't get a stick in there.
I love animals, man, and you know, I know that it wasn't something that was done on purpose.
Yeah, of course,
you know
of course. Yeah,
but
it wasn't.
Those. I wasn't. Even when it happened, I wasn't mad at them. I'm still not mad at them. Those are my babies. You know what I mean?
I'm mad at them though. I don't know them.
I'm telling you, my wife is furious with them.
You hear me? I'm mad at him, and I don't know him.
Furious with him.
I have a Morkie, and so she's a little 6-pound dog.
Hey, I can't do small dogs.
Listen, and I can't. I don't want to do big dogs. I love my dog at the end of the bed.
Yeah.
She's just so small. But listen, you would think that she was a pig. The way she be barking.
Yeah, the small ones bark.
Yeah.
They got Napoleon
And you go like
complex.
this. She gone.
It's Napoleon complex.
Yeah,
you know
it's a Napoleon complex. So Telemundo. Life is happening. You got an album dropping soon. Tell us about it.
Yes.
I know. I mean, it's so many layers to you, and I'm so excited that we get to just pull them back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as the way life is going to just excel for you, it's going to be some more that's going to have to be pulled back because every time we get higher and closer to our destiny, we have to pull some things back to get released, right?
Yeah.
So now you got the album coming out.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on this project?
Oh man, so you know. This project has been a labor of love.
Come on, I like when people say that. That's like my favorite thing.
I literally stopped when I went through my surgery and all that stuff with the finger. I went through like a dark phase.
Yeah.
So I didn't do no music for like almost a year at this point. You know what I mean? And I kind of just stayed away from it and didn't want to do anything that pertains to music.
Oh, that's the trick of the enemy. That depression is real.
You know, and it's just crazy because my last 4 records all charted on the iTunes charts, right? My first record,
iTunes charts, big charting,
my
charting, bitch. Okay,
my
go ahead.
first record, Controller, with me and Petey Pablo. You know what I mean? Then I did the remix, and then D-Man with Vanessa Bling, who's a huge reggae artist. You know what I mean? And then we dropped this Dale record that also did some great things. But at that time, I had stopped because then the injury happened. You know what I mean? I had all these different plans. I had like a whole rollout, and the injury happened, so I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So for 6-7 months, I'm in my own head. I'm just, you know, in the dumps. You know what I mean? And focusing on everything else but music, the house and renovating stuff and this and that. And Melinda Santiago.
Shout out to Melinda Santiago. We love Melinda.
Yes.
Melinda is a mover, shaker. Melinda, we got a connector. Go ahead.
So let me tell you what's crazy about Melinda Santiago, right? I had met Melinda years ago through Bone and through everybody. We reconnected on Clubhouse, that goddamn app.
Yeah.
Clubhouse, right? So when I first got in Clubhouse, my first day, so crazy. My first day, I had T-Pain in my room, Jamie Foxx. all these different people. And we were on it for like, JD was in there for a little bit.
Let's go.
And we were on that room till like 6 a.m. just cracking jokes and all that, right? And she had popped into the room. And then subsequently, I would pop into hers.
Yeah.
Dave had his room. We would pop into Dave's room. And I kept hitting Melinda up, like, look, are you looking for artists? Like, are you looking for artists? Are you looking for artists? Like, what's up? Are you looking for artists? And she's like, nah, not at the time. You know, I got too much stuff going on. And I was like, fuck, like, she would be the perfect manager that I need for what I'm doing. And I kept bugging her for like 6 months. You know what I mean? And then I kind of just stopped. Like, okay, well, you know, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But I still kind of just, hey, how you doing, Melinda? You know what I mean? How things going? You know what I mean? And out of the blue one morning, at like 8 o'clock in the morning, she calls me. She's like, yo, I'm ready. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah, that's how it happens.
She's like, yeah. She had DM me. I was like, no, I got to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, all right, cool. I get a phone call the next morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, literally 8 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, I got to talk to you. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I'm ready. And I'm like, ready for what? She's like, I'm ready for you. And I'm like, all right, let's go.
All right, good morning.
Yeah, I'm like, let's go.
Good morning, yeah.
And that became that. And within a day or two of that, she had a whole plan. She had a whole idea what she wanted to do. You know what I mean? You know, to be in the room and in the conversation with Melinda and Leon Cosby, and, you know, who's her partner, but also to be in a conversation with the people that she manages is insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From Scarface to Scrappy to RSVP, you know, shout out to my dude Ray J, shout out, you know, Bobby V, all these different people.
Yeah.
To just be in that that type of conversation as an artist is dope, right? Because it gives you a cosign. It lets you know that what you're doing is working. And at the time for me, because it came out of nowhere, I'm like, oh shit, okay, well, let's go. And
I mean, you kind of prayed for it. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying? When you put that stuff out in the atmosphere, like, we just truly got to believe that it's going to come back. But and timing is everything, because think about it. If she would have did it when you wanted her to, it probably wouldn't have flowed the right way.
Because time and things happen when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Melinda is also somebody who's very, she's very about energy.
Yeah.
She's very about timing. And if it's not right, she's not going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm the same way. So I've always respected that about Melinda. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have said, yeah, I got you, and never call me back.
Yeah.
But she always would hit me every few months like, yo, Nova, when it's time, I got you.
I love her for that.
And that phone call came in. I'm like, let's do it.
Let's go. So now she got the plan for you.
Yes.
Is that what got you back? Like, it's album time.
So I already had an album pretty much done.
You the king of having an album done on their ass.
Let me tell you something. Yeah.
You the king. How much stuff you got like in the archive?
I'm gonna tell you why though.
Come on, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. I have Kanye syndrome, right?
I love it.
I will record and record and record and not release a goddamn thing.
Okay.
Because to me, it has to be perfect, right? And that's that Kanye syndrome shit. Because I realize now through life, the perfectness of something is the imperfect of it.
I like it.
So
I'll take it.
I've always been so big. As an example, right? My record that went on the Billboard charts, I had sat on that record for 2 years, right? I was on a flight to LA with Bone Crusher. We had just dropped our record, and I'm playing the record on my headphones, and his wife is like, yo, what's that? Let me hear that. I pass it over to her. She's like, oh my God, this is fire. You got to put this out. And I'm like, yeah, it's not ready. And I remember she was like, man, you wildin'. You got to drop it. Ended up dropping that record. It went number 10 on the Billboard charts for a whole month.
Thank you, God.
Right? And
you gotta have people around you that see what we don't see.
And that record sat there for 2 years. Same thing with Controller. Controller sat there for a year on my hard drive. You know what I mean? I was getting my hair braided one night, and a producer sent me a few records. And I'm going through the different beats, and Controller pops on. I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine. I start mumbling. I tell my hair braider, yo, chill, hold on, let me jump in the booth real quick. Jumped in the booth, did the hook. I was working on P.D. Pablo's album. I was producing some records for P.D.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that P.D. called me that day and was like, yo, send me a record of yours. Like you keep doing for me. Let me do something for you.
That's love.
And I sent them the record. I went to go walk the dogs. I come back to the house 20 minutes later, his verse was in my inbox. And that's how Controller came about, right? And then just doing all these different records. At the time, we had spoke about before, when I went to New York to write that record for that Latin artist. Actually, I don't even think I finished the story. I was in New York with Rockwalla and my crew, working on some records for Mary J's album.
Yeah.
I get asked to
Mary J.
get asked to write a record for another artist, quote unquote. I go to the studio, write the record, 20, 30 minutes. I record the record, my first time singing in Spanish. I sing thinking I'm singing it for somebody else, right? So I'm in there thinking I'm Mark Anthony, just hand on the wall and all that. I sing it, end up losing my voice, right? I end up telling the engineer, yo, I can't do no more. Like, we're done.
Yeah.
He rushes in, me not knowing who this guy is. Gabe Costa is one of the biggest Latin producers, from Pitbull to these different people. Runs in the booth. He's like, yo, I'm doing your whole album. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't do Spanish music. He's like, well, that's not what your manager just told me. So my manager literally tricked me into doing this song for somebody else.
And it was really for you.
It was for me. She wanted to show me that I can do it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
wow, that's dope.
That became the day that I switched over to Latin music. I'm like, all right, let me try it. And it brought so much creativity out of me because now I can think outside the box. I don't got to be international Nova, the rapper from the Bronx. I can just be Nova and just figure this shit out. You know, from singing to rapping to producing Latin music now. And I started having fun with music again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
is that how you got more into the producing side of it?
Well, that's what happened because I kind of got bored of being an artist once I moved to Atlanta. All right, because everybody's... And I remember one of the things that Bone had told me when I first met Bone. He said, yo, don't come to Atlanta and try to act like you're from Atlanta.
That's it.
Be who you are.
Yeah.
You're this light-skinned, pretty boy, long-haired dude from the Bronx. Stay that way.
Stay that way.
And I was like, yeah, okay. Not knowing what it meant. And then later on, I realized, that's what it meant.
They already got it.
Because everybody comes to Atlanta and everybody wants to sound like they're from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, but I think that the cool thing about music is that it doesn't all have to sound the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, you don't have to like my music. She can, or you can. He might not like it.
You don't need 1% of the world to like it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I always said, when I started doing music, my goal was to reach one person.
Yeah.
The fact that I've reached more than that, to me, is icing on the cake.
The fact that you have over 80 million streams and shit that you put up, like...
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, like, that's
crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. So, now that you are producing, writing, directing, everything that you want to do...
Yeah. Slash. Entrepreneur slash.
You hear what I'm saying? I mean, we talking about Nova Agency. We talking about the realtor. We're talking about real estate. You got your hands in a lot of moving pieces.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
What is it that you ultimately want for you and your family, and where you see this going? Like,
I want to be able to do what the hell we want to do.
Okay.
No matter what that is, right? I've been blessed when it came to the music thing too. People always ask me now, like, yo, who would you want to work with that you haven't worked with? And I honestly can't even name a name other than the Latin side of things, because in the English market, I worked with all my heroes. Okay. I've been lucky, you know what I'm saying? But my idea of what I want for my family is to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it, right? I've been blessed. Like we just did a record for Neo, right? I did the theme song for Step Up. Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? Dope. And Neo's one of my musical idols when it comes to I was a rapper, right? But I was an R&B fanatic. Okay. So
yeah, but most light skinned dudes with nice hair,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they be smooth.
Light skin shit.
R&B, yeah. You know what I mean? Slow down.
But you know, I've been able to do certain things that I thought I never could do. You know what I'm saying? So for me, everything else is just icing on the cake. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I don't do anything else tomorrow, I did a million things that a million other kids can wish they could have done in their career. And I appreciate every single one of those things.
I know Kanye West kids are like in the media a lot.
Yeah.
Blue Ivy obviously is out a little
bit more. She out there killing it.
She out there killing it with Beyonce. Is that what you want for your children?
If that's what they want.
If that's what they want.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you grooming them for that though?
No. I'm really big on freedom of expression. Okay. I'm really big on free will. Okay. Right? So just because I do something doesn't mean you have to do it. All right. Right? Now with Prince, he's already super man, that kid came out the womb singing. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Come on, genetics.
Yeah, he just be in there, like holding notes and all that, right? And it's crazy how fast time flies. We just had him in January. He's about to be 7 months now, right? At one point in my life, I thought I was never gonna have a kid because I'm always on the road, I'm always traveling, doing this. So each day for me is like, wow. You know what I mean? And
come on, Chris.
Yeah, and so for me, we named him a certain way because we want him to always stand out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But him being who he is, he's always gonna stand out anyway. Whether he wants to do music, that's great. If he wants to be a doctor, that's great. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to flip burgers, whatever he wants to do, he's gonna do it. I'm gonna be behind my son.
Yeah. I love it. So we're behind you. I just want to let you say that. I just want to say that. Like, I mean, just hearing your grand rising and just like how you like taking every opportunity. And I'm not even saying that you took it by the balls and like clutched onto it. You like took it at face value and literally
try to maximize it.
And maximize.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is.
yeah,
like
yeah.
you didn't overpower. It seemed like you were like gentle and passive going in it versus like being super aggressive and then people being irritated.
Because I'm in it for the long term.
You get what I'm saying? And it sounds like that.
I've always been in it for the long term.
It
I've
feel
always
like
been
that.
in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Even if I never made a dollar out of music, music is my passion. It's what I love to do.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been blessed and lucky and in the right spot because it takes a little bit of all that. Right? It's a blessing. It's also being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Taking that one red light so you can be at the next light on time. Like it takes a mixture of all these things for things to really move for you. And I've been lucky and blessed that it has. You know what I mean? And now we're here. Now we got the Nova agency as well.
Let's
you know what I'm saying? Which is the real estate division of what I'm doing. I'm taking my brand and combining it with my wife's brand, who even before me was already a really big and dope realtor in Atlanta with the luxury homes and celebrities. And I would combine that, right? And it's so dope because people believe in what we're doing so quickly that it's already becoming a really big deal.
It is.
And we have other big companies hitting us up to run certain divisions now, which is crazy. So it's a blessing in that whatever we put our mind to, we can accomplish, right, with the right work ethic behind it. But it all starts from music. And for me, music is what opens the doors to all these different opportunities for me.
Okay.
And I will never be not cognizant of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was gonna ask you just like what is some jewels you can drop for people that are probably entering the music industry, but you just basically just saying it, right? Or do you have something?
It sounds cliche as fuck because everybody says this shit, right? But I truly believe this shit. Never take no for an answer.
Oh, no, that doesn't sound
because you're gonna get a million no's before you get your first yes. Right? But that one yes that you get might be the only yes that you need.
It's a shift, a game shifter. Speaking of yeses, so yes to the album, yes to Telemundo, yes to people. What else? They need to follow you. I need my followers to be locked in. Where they saying yes to?
Please. Listen, we just did a dope deal with management with Melissa Santiago and also the Santiago firm, right?
Yeah.
We combined my label EMG with the Santiago Media Group, right? And we did a joint venture that now we're distributing my album and my other artists' albums through Empire Distribution.
You know what I mean? God, that's dope.
I just had a dope conversation with my brother Columbus Short yesterday, the actor. We're doing some things on the music side for him as well.
I love it.
When it comes to my label and what I'm doing and some other things too. But, I think that it's dope to align yourself with people. It's dope to align yourself with people who believe in you. Not for the money and for all the other bullshit, but because they believe in you and your vision.
Yeah.
And I truly feel like Melinda, Leon, the team, my PR upscale, they're in it behind me because they believe in what I bring to the table, right? And I'm excited. We got a dope-ass project on the way.
I'm excited.
We got a really dope album. Like I said, I have a lot of music in the vault. So
I'm at to listen to some of this music because I'm about to be like, release. Okay, say
so like
release.
I was putting a track list together and I said, you know what? I want to scrap that and just record only songs. But it's because that's just how I am, right? So we got a dope project. We're looking at a September release date.
September release date.
It's my birthday, September 17th.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure something. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, you're Virgo, that's fine. Sorry.
You know what I mean?
You said it 32 times.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna say it 33 times. I'm Virgo. Now, but
I'm a Scorpio. I understand it.
But we got a dope project coming, man. We got some dope features on it. I produced the majority of the album. You know what I mean? And it's exciting.
It's exciting. So they need to follow you on what social media platforms?
Every goddamn platform. Follow me on International Nova on Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever the hell. What the fuck is Twitter called now?
I don't know. Is it called X?
It was supposed to be called X.
I don't know, but have you been getting on Thread?
So I
did it the first 2 days.
I did it for like the first week.
I ain't threaded since.
And I haven't threaded. Melinda threads every day though.
Does she?
Yeah, she does.
So it's a lot of people that's still on there threading?
I don't. So for me, it's social media is a job, right?
It's a job.
It's a 9 to 5 job, and it's the thing is that we're in a day and age where social media is really the majority of your marketing as an artist or as a brand, right? So you have to do it. If you do not do it, your brand is going to suffer.
Absolutely.
Right? Back in the day, you had the big labels and this and that. They put posters of you everywhere. you got freaking billboards. Nowadays, social media is king, right?
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to kind of stay relevant on that. And they keep adding these new platforms, and now you got to master that. I don't know how to fuck the thread, but I'm going to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But all social media is International Nova, International Nova, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, Threads,
Snapchat,
TikTok,
Cash App.
You know what I mean? And we got some reality show stuff in the works between me and my wife and Melinda. And we have a couple different options that we're kind of trying to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, of course, whatever y'all need me to do, I'm in it.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it popping, you know what I mean?
Niggas always going to put their stuff in there. Listen, I'm super grateful. I am super appreciative. Through thick and thin, like, brother, this is just the beginning, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. I just want you to know that these followers are going to be following you because they be serious.
International Nova, and also follow the Nova Agency.
Please.
We here, we working, we grinding.
We working, we grinding, and we locked in. Y'all stay locked in.
Thick and
Like,
thin.
comment, subscribe, share. You don't want to miss the next one, okay? Love y'all. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.